slightly delayed because we are waiting for a translator. Does everybody understand English? Yes? Do you need a translator? No? Okay. So I can start to speak. Well, first of all, I would like to welcome all the senior leaders and all of you to this meeting. I'd like to thank you for coming here. I want to start by telling you about what I think is important with regards to a government. The most important thing for a government is that it has to be fair. Do you agree with that? You agree with that? You know, yesterday I went to my sister's house, and my sister's children, they don't fight very much. They're quite friendly. And I asked my sister, why is it that I see so many children who are always fighting, and your children, they don't fight that much? And why is it that they're always cooperating with each other? And my sister said that because they know that I love them both equally. And because I love them both equally, they don't fight. So the first problem, I would say, with regards to Nagaland is what was also raised earlier, which is the question of fairness. And the question that Eastern Nagaland is not treated the same as Western Nagaland. Do you agree with this? Do you feel that maybe there is a little bit of unfairness between Western Nagaland and Eastern Nagaland? Do you feel that? Yes. And we feel that a lot of the work that should have happened in Eastern Nagaland has not been done by the government. And we believe, the Congress party believes, that whatever government is in power in Nagaland, it should treat all people in Nagaland equally and with fairness. So when we win the election and when we come to power, we are going to ensure that Eastern Nagaland's voice is heard in running the state. So that's the first thing I want to tell you, that we'll give special focus to the NPO areas, and we will try and reduce the neglect that has occurred here over the last 10 years. Because when you neglect one part of the state, what you do is you disempower the whole state. The energy of the people of Eastern Nagaland, instead of going into taking the state forward, it slows the state down. Because the people of Eastern Nagaland are not happy. And they feel that the government is not being fair. So this is one thing that we are going to correct. We're going to try and ensure that fairness prevails in Nagaland. That's the first thing. The second thing is, the job of a government is to look after your future. It is to ensure that your children and your future generations do well. And our biggest complaint with this government is that they have squandered your future. And there are many examples of this. They are running the government, they are being corrupt, and the result is damage to your future. Just now, I came in the Jeep and I asked the gentleman driving the Jeep, tell me, what is it that bothers you? And he said there is no infrastructure. And he said that if I take a new Jeep from here and I drive it to Dimapur, by the time it arrives in Dimapur, it is an old Jeep. It is as if the Jeep has been driving for 3 or 4 years. Because the damage to the Jeep is so much because of the bad roads. What happens as a result of a bad road? The chief minister doesn't suffer. The ministers don't suffer. The common man suffers. The common man needs to use the road. Common man needs to build his future, and he suffers. Huge amount of money that is sent from the center is stolen in road contracts, is given to their friends and family. Faleroji was talking to me today while I was coming here, and he mentioned to me about the cricket stadium, where the huge amount of money has been taken away. Whose money is it? It is your money. It is the future, it is your future that is being squandered. And this is something that you have to think about. When you see corruption, your future is being taken away from you. Rest of the country is growing very, very fast. And we want Nagaland to grow in the same way. We want roads to be built. We want colleges to be built. We want our youngsters to do well. I travel around India and I see large numbers of boys and girls from Nagaland and other parts of the Northeast doing very well. Go to any hotel, go to any service industry, go to a call center, and you will find the best people there are people from Nagaland and other parts of the Northeast. And the question I keep asking myself is, if people from Nagaland can be so successful in the rest of India, if they can run companies, if they can run hotels, run call centers, why can't they do it over here? And the reason they can't do it over here is because you are not empowered. Your government does not empower you. Your government does not free your hands to build your own future. You build your future in the rest of the country. Your youngsters are doing extremely well in Delhi University, other universities. But here, you're not able to succeed. And the reason is because your government is not having a long-term view. They're thinking about today. They're thinking about their own benefit. And they're not thinking about your future. And the Congress government, any Congress government that comes, is going to think about your future. Let me give you one other example. What is your name? Your name. Yeah. नाम क्या आपका? आपका जो टोपी पहने, हाँ. What's your name? What आप करते क्या? What do you understand English? What do you do? Party man, Vice President. Have you taken a bank loan? You don't have a bank loan. But your government has created debt. And they have taken 35,000 rupees on your name by doing misgovernance. Everybody over here, the government has taken 35,000 rupees per person from you, from your future. What do you think about that? What do you feel? How do you feel about that? चोरी करता है, और ये जो चोरी करता है, इससे नुकसान किसका होता है? पब्लिक का। और जो चोरी करता है उसको फायदा होता है। हाँ, आदत हो गया। तो यही आदत बदलनी है, क्योंकि अगर ये आदत नहीं बदली तो आपका जो प्रदेश है वो आगे नहीं जाएगा जिस स्पीड से जाना चाहिए। अच्छा, यहां पे हिंदी समझते हैं लोग? अंग्रेजी में बोलूं, हिंदी में बोलूं, इंग्लिश? English, okay. So what he's saying is that we've got in Nagaland, the people in government have a habit that they steal. And it's important that we change this habit, because this habit is not helping the people of Nagaland. In fact, it is damaging the people of Nagaland. Last thing I'd like to say is the question of peace in Nagaland. Congress President had come here and she had mentioned that we have to work towards peace in Nagaland. And it is fundamental that peace exists in Nagaland for Nagaland to move forward. And what I would also like to say here, I would like to repeat what she said, that we are committed to getting a solution to the Nagaland issue. And we are committed to dialogue. We are committed to listening to what needs to be done and working together to get a solution to the state. Finally, I'd like to say that for me, personally, the Northeast is very, very important. And Nagaland in particular is both important and interesting. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about why it's interesting. Because the culture here has democracy at the village level. And it has democracy at the grassroots. And the big challenge in India today, in all the states, is taking democracy to the grassroots. And in taking democracy to the grassroots, frankly, you are very, very far advanced. So as a politician, I can learn quite a lot from your culture, your institutions, your village institutions, and how you govern locally. So I'd like to thank you for your tradition, and I'd like to tell you that it is very, very useful for the country. And it is very important for the country to come and understand how the Nagas govern themselves locally, how your village government works, and to use that to take village government and develop it further in the entire country. Finally, I said this in Tripura as well, you're a small state and you're in one side of India. It's very important to understand and to realize that it doesn't matter how big a state you are or how small a state you are. If you look at Uttar Pradesh, there are 200 million, almost 200 million people in Uttar Pradesh. It's the 6th largest country on its own. And then Tripura and Nagaland, they are quite small. But it doesn't matter how big or small a state you are or where you are in India. What matters is that India requires everybody. And it requires everybody's voice to be heard. India is like a bouquet of flowers, where every flower is important. It's not that just because the flower is slightly bigger than another flower, that it is more beautiful. All flowers are beautiful, and all flowers have to be appreciated. The same way, all states have to be appreciated. All cultures have to be appreciated. All opinions have to be appreciated. And those opinions, cultures, have to be used to build the entire country. Your youngsters go to Delhi, and whenever I see them, particularly from Nagaland, I feel very proud. Sometimes they go to Delhi, and the women who are sitting here will tell you that sometimes they're discriminated against. Do you agree with that? Do you feel that sometimes Naga youngsters go to Delhi and there's a little bit of discrimination? Do you feel that? And they struggle and they do well. So I want to tell all the youngsters that sometimes you might find difficulty, you might find people who are, some exceptions who are ignorant and who will not understand your culture. But the broad majority of people in India, they respect different voices and they respect different cultures. And I'm very, very proud whenever I see young Naga boys and girls being successful in the rest of the country. These are a few of the things I wanted to tell you. end by repeating two or three things. One, whatever government comes after the election, you should expect fairness. A government's primary job is to be fair. And this issue of Eastern, Western Nagaland, it is very important that it is a fair government. And we are going to try and give you that. The second thing is, whatever government comes, it should think about the future of Nagaland. It should think about roads. It should think about hospitals. It should think about education. And I know you said that corruption ki aadat hai. But it's important that we are idealistic and we try and change that aadat. It will take time, but it has to be done. And a lot of the youngsters sitting here, they can do that if we bring them into the political system. So these are the few things I wanted to tell you. I look forward to a resolution of the conflict here. And I look forward to a peaceful, prosperous Nagaland in the future. Thank you very much.